There's, quote, merit to some of the allegations of sexual misconduct against Matt Gaetz. That investigation would continue, but looks like he's going to leave the House. So what do you think, Selena?
Yeah, look, there's so much controversy that has swirled around Matt Gaetz, but what is so clear from all of this is that Donald Trump is prioritizing loyalty above all. That is what he is rewarding, people who are loyal to him. But again, the big question comes down to, could he get through the Senate confirmation process? I mean, even with Republicans holding that majority, that is unclear. But we know that Gaetz has been traveling with Donald Trump. In fact, today he's actually been at Mar-a-Lago advising Trump on some of these key cabinet picks. So he's really been in his inner circle. And again, but the big concern that we've been talking about is that